Bogard sky free in every sense of the word. I keep my hands clean, sanitized. I've been analyzing streets, found a way. Now I try to find his feet. Moutier, the lifestyle blinding me. Gotta be an angle here. It's all geometry. It was all a dream. Like the late great notorious, the road less traveled, the road less glorious.
The abyss of these bubblegate bitches. Still I rise in the midst of demons, blocking views and pictures. On the slide of future menus, looks bright on the new venues. Press it on wax, watch the saga continue. Lessons, the facts, it's all something we've been through. But when pain's no longer holding pain, that's just something I don't do. Ventilation's a healthy process to a regimen focused with lit views. Don't fall for traps, don't be confused, don't let them get you.
What's up, everybody? Welcome in. Today, it's Sunday, and it's NASCAR day. Let's do some racing, baby. We're also going to be talking a little bit about our basketball like we always do. We'll get into that after the racing, yep. So, our boy Andrew's going to be on soon. He's on his way back to college, the good old boy, good old days, hanging out in college. The drive back to college, yep, we know how that is. But
it's been a while.
What's up, brother?
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while for me too. But if you haven't been here before, I'm JC Money. This is my man, Coach Craig. We're here to talk a little super draft. What's up, brother?
Yeah, not too much. Yesterday was it wasn't the best day in the world. Did okay in some of the NBA stuff. Let's see, UFC. We were just off a little bit, but what you need, the guy that really made the difference is whoever played against that Moto Hino guy or whatever.
Jones.
That guy kicked butt.
Jones, right?
I think so. I don't know. One of those guys towards the bottom end of the slate, they really kicked butt, and they had 180 points before the multiplier.
Yeah, he was at 256 if I'm correct. And the crazy thing is the guy that I took at champion, even though he lost, he still had over 128 points. Which is fine,
He's okay. Yeah. And he was 50% owned on DraftKings. That was crazy. And then he lost. I was like, well,
that's
I didn't
too bad. I think I got 4 out of 5 wins.
I think I did too. So
yeah,
can't really complain. You just gotta get. It's just hard. Some weeks you just have to get 5 out of 5, or you gotta get 4 out of 5 and get 2 really high point guys.
Have a really good champion, and then oh shit, Andrew's in the building. All right, what's up, Andrew? Let's bring our man in here. The inside man with NASCAR. Let's get it. What up, Andrew?
Hey, guys. It's another race week.
Yeah.
Pumped.
We were just talking about your drive back to college, dude. How'd it go?
Yeah. It was okay. I didn't drive. I took the train, but yeah, it was great.
That's actually better. Then you don't got to do any work except for hang out.
Sleep.
Yeah.
Kind of. Depends on the train situation.
Did you hop in? Like a bum? Open the door and jump on real quick?
Yeah, you can say that. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Not much. Just pretty much nervous. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, just a bit nervous because I'm gonna tell you, there are a ton of people. Right now on my slate, I got 12, 13 guys you could use for this race.
Compared to the past are already in too, and I can tell you about the pro picks. They really they really like Larson and Logano as champions, and then they like Hamlin and then Harvick. Pretty much that's the big main guys, and then they got Blaney in there. They got Amarillo in a lot, Cindric in a couple, Bubba Wallace and all of them.
They got Bubba Wallace and all of them. Yeah.
Wow, I'm surprised no Stenhouse. He's starting last. He's definitely going to come from the back.
Yeah, because what was it? I was reading they had to put a new engine in his car too or something.
Yeah, but I think it's it's nothing too much to worry. If it isn't, oh goodness.
If it is, he's just going to be out right away. So it's either it's boom or bust then.
Yeah, but I have a bit more faith in that JTG car. It was a top 10 car in Auto Club, and he's been running very good. So
yeah.
So we'll get into it. We'll let you start talking a little infractions first. We'll talk some infractions if there's anybody that had to move to the back, and then we'll get into talking to some notes.
Yeah, I just pulled up to it, and apparently there's a new one added. So the original one was Kyle Larson. He's going to the back. They had to fix a steering issue. That's important because he's basically the top guy in the whole league. he came home second last week, first place in Auto Club, and so he's had a fast car. And even then, in these past few races, you've seen a lot of people spin out and whatnot. Last week, he was like almost close to that, but like his dirt tracking skills they're just being put to the work, and just shows the people like how skilled he is at driving these cars.
Mm-hmm.
The full issue was apparently was a steering rack issue in testing, and then a power steering pump, and then it's kind of more than it just instead of just the one word thing of just steering. So I mean, steering is important because you can't just drive a car in a straight line. That's not what we're here to do. But yeah, they fixed it. He's just going in the back. What I expect him to lead laps, yes. And thankfully, we have a competition caution, so that should shake things out. It was just announced today, lap 25. We're going to have a comp caution. A bit early from what I've heard. And in my opinion, I think it's a bit early, but hey, I mean, that just gives Larson a bigger opportunity to get up there faster and to lead more laps, because that's the name of the game, leading laps and make sure not to get negative points. The other guy that was sent to the back, Stenhouse, they had, like you guys mentioned, he had to replace the engine. Not too worried about that. I'm pretty sure he's gonna be chalky, and a lot of people are gonna use them because that car's not gonna stay in the back. It's gonna be a top 20 car, even though it might not have the speed, but I think JTG will figure that car out. And I think even his track history here is pretty damn good. Well, not as good as like Larson, but better than the most people starting out back. And I would say you would have more confidence from him. And then the one that just got put on the unapproved adjustments list is Harrison Burton. I don't know what his issue is, but just 13 minutes ago, apparently he just did something to the car, and he's just going in the back. I will mention
on extra pinstripes. That's what he was probably doing. It putting on extra pinstripes.
Yeah. Although you do mention pinstripes. The one guy that I am a bit worried, but not too much, Joey Logano. First one out there to qualify, coming off of that turn 4, just I don't know if slabs, but like I guess when you look at the picture of how he like impacted the wall, or like even the video, I thought it was a bit significant, but the crew chief says they're not going to replace it because otherwise they're going to the back. A lot of people have been complaining about that, being like, "Oh man, it's just a small dent. Why you got to send him to the back for that?" It happens. So, I mean, I'm not too worried about him. I mean, well, he's not going to the back, but like he's starting 10th. I think he's going to be a good guy to be a top 5 car. I mean, from what I've heard, and like I remember reading this one stat. Let me see if I can pull it up. If not, I think. Oh yeah, here it is. Oh no, that's not it. Sorry. Here it is. His last 3 results at Phoenix: 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So that's like podium places for you. And his only worst finish was last fall, 11th place. But then again, he was already out of contention, so there's really no need to go out there and run. And it was also the last race of the Gen 6 car, but that's not the car we're running this time. And even beyond that, if you look at these types of tracks, these shorter flat tracks, he is 4 for 4 for finishing 2nd to 5th last year. So pretty much a sure bet. And he also has some decent speed. That was something interesting to note of. Him kind of slapping the wall, and they're not going to repair the damage because it's not so significant. So keep an eye on that. But those are some of the major issues coming out of qualifying in these past few weeks, or past days.
I mean, Logano starts 10th, so I mean, it's not like it's anything bad. I mean, he's gonna get up there and he's gonna make moves because he's a hell of a driver.
And I think the graphic my buddy showed me, Nate, earlier this week, he's led like the most laps here in like the past 3 years or something like that too.
Yeah, he's been really dominant here, and even his teammates. They might not have the best finishing, but like Penske, they've got this track figured out. Even Joe Gibbs too. I would say the majority of them have led this race and have won this race. Although you see, like Larson, Elliott, they ended up winning, the finale, but then that's a different story. They were in the championship 4 hunt, so they have to have like these fast cars. But if we're talking about in the regular season, I'm gonna say it's gonna be a Ford or Toyota. I mean, Byron has shown speed this week, but in the past few years, it's just really been a Toyota or Ford. You have to go back to, I want to say like 2016. That's like 5 years ago when Harvick won on that thrilling last lap against retired Carl Edwards. It was like the closest margin of all times, and I was like, oh goodness. But yeah, that was the last time that Chevy was in victory lane for this kind of race.
Well, let's get into it. Let's talk some history here, track history. I'll let you get into it, Craig. Talk some of your notes, a little track history from the last 3 years, and then or do you got 4 years? I think it's 3.
I got 4 years. I go back 4, but
Ooh,
mainly it's just because I go back 4 in golf. So,
well, then we'll get into that, and then we'll get into talking some of the multipliers and some of the guys that you like. I'm sure that you've talked to your buddy. Was it Nate, right?
Yep.
So and then we'll get some insight from our man Andrew, and then we'll set a lineup.
Yeah.
But top 10 we got from last year is Martin Truex, Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin, Brad Keselowski, obviously Chase Elliott, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Larson, Will Byron, Christopher Bell, and Ryan Blaney. Then back in 2020 was Logano, Harvick, Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson, Clint Boyer back when he was there, Kurt Busch, Eric Almirola, Cole Custer got up in there, and then Will Byron as well. And back in 2019, we had Kyle Busch, Martin Truex, Ryan Blaney, Eric Almirola, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, Kurt Busch, Jimmy Johnson back when he was there, Kevin Harvick, and Joey Logano. And then going back to 2018, even we got Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex, Clint Boyer once again, and then Eric Almirola, Daniel Suarez, Eric Jones, and Kurt Busch. So a lot of similar names you'll see there in between the 4 different years.
Mm-hmm.
And what were you saying about Almirola a little before the show?
So they like him a lot in the pro picks, but he starts 5th. So you're probably not gaining points there. And then his multiplier dropped this week to 1.25. So I put him on the list just because I like him, but I'm still very concerned at that point.
What was your reason for liking him?
Oh, I typically like him because he usually starts further back, and he at least, he's the guy that at least finishes like top 15 a lot of times. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I would say they bumped up his multiplier. Is that correct?
Yeah. I think it was 1.35 last week or 1.4 or something like that. But he's at 1.25 now this week. So
yeah, that makes sense.
But he's been getting some top 10s.
Yeah, I mean, he's the only guy. The fun fact stat of 2022 is he's the only guy to finish top 10 in all the races, even Daytona, and we're like, that place is crazy. And so I'm not surprised that he bumped up his multiplier. Yeah, I mean, unless you're playing a fantasy game, of where you're just only like worrying about like stage points and finishing positions, then yeah, I mean, Almirola doesn't feel like the guy to be up there. Neither is Bell. He's starting 4th, although he's in Joe Gibbs Racing equipment. I don't know if they can be up there. I think they'll still finish top 10, but I don't know if they can like get higher than that 4th or 5th position. So you might be taking a loss there. Although, Almirola does have some speed, more than what he's shown in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, it's just the thing is the upside's more limited, at least this week. Let's put it that way. Because normally, like the last couple, most of the events this year, he's been starting, 20 plus back. So,
yeah. And the thing is, with him starting 20th pass, it's like, the practice and qualifying doesn't really show as much speed or doesn't really show like what his like race trim is or what his race speed is, because if you look throughout the whole race, just I guess like they split up the race into 4 segments, and from what I've seen, every time he just starts out slow, but they just keep adjusting and it somehow clicks at the end. And also these past 2 races we've had late race cautions, so that helps him out to bunch up the field and get him a better position.
And you're still talking about somebody that's super experienced too, compared to some people.
So let's kind of go through this list a little bit. I mean, Hamlin, he's starting 2nd, and he's on the list. Larson's going to be starting 7th. Logano is somebody that's on the list.
Larson started back now.
Yeah.
Let's see, they don't have. Let's see, Busch isn't on their list.
Yeah.
On SuperDraft for their pro picks, which is. Let's see who else.
They didn't.
Martin Truex wasn't on their list at all.
Did they? Yeah. They didn't have much Chase Elliott, did they?
I don't think he was on there either. Kyle Busch is not on there. So these are like areas that we could attack.
Yeah, I think more for Martin Truex Jr. I think a lot of people, they're still pretty high on other people, like other NASCAR fantasy guys. I'd say that a lot of people, even myself, I'm pretty still high on him because When you look at the past races, well, like go 2 years back or even 1 year back, the end of 2021, that championship 4 race really showed how much he's really improved from that track. Because if you go like past that, he has terrible results. Except for like 2019, I think he had a good year there, and then 2020 he kind of dropped off. But anyways, yeah, that 19 car, it's kind of deceiving. Like, you see a lot of the lap averages, they're just terrible, and like people are still high on him because, well, honestly, last week apparently they had colder temperatures in Las Vegas, which I'm kind of surprised because it's Middle East or something, not Middle East, or somewhere pretty hot. And so
Oh, in Vegas, bro, dude, I was in Vegas in December a couple of years ago, and it was colder in Vegas than it was in Minnesota.
Okay.
So, talking about going on vacation and being pissed off because it's colder than you were in the place you were just at, like.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised that it was. I mean, even the Xfinity race before the Cup race, it was snowing, and I was like, "It snows in Las Vegas? Are you kidding me?"
You can.
Yeah,
Desert,
so I'm a
man.
bit surprised, but yeah, Martin Truex Jr. They apparently set that car up really well. Although he really didn't he had like a top 15 car speed wise, but yeah, they just set up that car really well. Last week there was a pretty much a long green flag run until little caution where everyone came down to pit. So that's why everyone's pretty high on him. Is everyone's hoping that there's a long run caution, and I think even with the new crew chief, yeah, you also got to remember that he has a new crew chief, and I think this new crew chief has really helped him to be better at Phoenix, and to have this longer run car than and I guess they're also predicting that there's going to be longer runs, and I would think so too because yeah, besides Logano, we haven't really seen anyone spin out and had any issues, and it's been week 4. People should have a better hand or better knowledge of what their car is, so we should see a lot less cautions. And so yeah, that's why I and a lot of the community is pretty high on Martin Truex Jr.
And that's nice because we can definitely use him in one of our lineups because he's probably going to be really low owned. At least anybody that looks at the pro picks and uses that to their advantage and whatever advantage that is. But I mean, there's ways that almost helps us in ways to steer away from some of the players. Obviously, we're going to play some of the players, but it's nice to get in and kind of see what everyone's going to be playing so that we can kind of steer away from, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go, Greg. What do you think?
Let's see where we're at too. I mean, I really like the fact that they're not mentioning Chase Elliott just because he starts 19th, though. I think I just put a line in myself. I'm going to put him in my champion, but that's me. So, then let's see where were we at because we kind of talked about Truex, we talked about Almirola.
I guess we can talk about Chase if you brought him up. He started 19th, so only one spot higher than Martin Truex Jr. I know in DraftKings he's more expensive than Martin Truex Jr., so a lot of people would probably pivot to him because of the price differential. But in SuperDraft, there's no price, so really, I think people were just like Chase Elliott has not been fast here in the past, in this practice session. But I mean, look at his results; he's been pretty good here. Especially even I think even like since 2020, he's really started to pick up because Hendrick has really just changed whatever they did, and now they're pretty much the top team, and so I would expect Chase Elliott to not stay in that 19th position and to be like Truex and get up in the top 10. So that's already 9 positions or 9 place differential points for you. So that's already a lot. If they don't, I know they can struggle a bit, but I'm thinking they don't struggle as much. And I think he's also another one of those guys where the practice speed, it's kind of deceiving, just like Truex Jr. and of how they can set up that car and how fast they can run.
I think I might end up going with Truex Jr. as my champion today.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of guys that could make for interesting champions too, because even if you want to go down to Stenhouse with the potential place differential too and the high multiplier, you could do that. Do you have a preferred bush in this race at all, Andrew? It seems like Kyle's got the better history recently, but least here. But
I know a lot of people. For me, I wasn't really too high on Kyle Busch. For like another game, I was thinking you can save on him, but like for this game, like since there's really no limits for this, go Kyle Busch. But I would definitely prioritize other people with place differential. Although I heard that it can be hard to pass here, but I think the top equipment, they should be able to figure it out. Kyle Busch, I know he was like the 7th best overall in lap average, so not bad.
Not bad.
And yeah, I think even though you look at his past history, it's been terrible. Like I think his best finish out of the past 4 races is like 11th or something, which is kind of shocking. Because
on here.
Well,
yeah,
let's
even
see. Kyle's on there is he got a third and a first. So 2020 got third and 2019 got first, and then 2018 was second. So Kurt's the one that's been struggling more here, it looked like.
Yeah, Kurt Busch, yeah, I mean, a lot of his stats come from the SHR car, and I mean, he's starting 15th. If he was starting 25th, I would consider more of that, but I mean, it could go either way. You know, maybe he does end up just surviving that race and staying in that 15th position, which does you no good at all, or does get you 5 positions and gets in the top 10 with all this possible carnage, but I'm not really too interested in him. I'd rather just go for the guys that have been running pretty consistent. And even then, like the past 2 weeks, Kurt hasn't shown much speed at all. I think a 13th at Vegas and then 10th place at Auto Club. Yeah, and also I'm just waiting to see more evidence and more info out of that 2311 car with Kurt Busch and for Brad Keselowski.
Yeah. Is there anybody else kind of lower down that you're interested in this week?
There is one guy that I'm really surprised why they put their multiplier down so low. Yeah, right there. See 1.35 Ryan Blaney. I'm kind of surprised why they put him down here. I'm guessing. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm guessing they just thinking. Oh yeah, he wrecked last week, so we might as well just put him higher because of that. Alodia does start on the pole, so that I mean, starting on the pole, you're already gonna lead laps. And besides, anyways, Ryan Blaney has a fast car, so I'm kind of surprised that they put him down that low. AJ Allmendinger is the lowest guy I would go down to at that 1.65 multiplier. Also, Burton's down there. Okay, so possibly Burton because he has that alliance with the Penske cars, and like I said, Penske runs pretty well. His 2021 stats of nothing. Well, they don't show. I don't know. That's probably a glitch, but his 21 stats have not been interesting at all. But apparently they have some speed this week. But I'm leaning more towards AJ Allmendinger because I mean he's already got one race done. He ran the Xfinity race last week. I mean yesterday. So I'm thinking he's more of a better guy to use. And also he starts further than Burton because Burton starts 24th and I think Allmendinger starts 29th. So that's 5 place differential points you can get if AJ passes Harrison Burton.
Just kind of looking through some of these guys you're talking about. Obviously, some of the stuff isn't fully updated, which is, too bad. But I mean, Stenhouse is nice too. Like when you guys were talking about him starting kind of last. So, I mean, he's not completely in last, but
no, he's pretty much last now. I guess he's a couple spots ahead of last now.
I mean, he didn't qualify at everyone, and I mean, even though Larson's going to the back, he qualified. So they usually put the guy who didn't qualify last.
That makes sense too.
That's fine with me too. I mean,
he might be just last.
Yeah, I was thinking of doing like one lineup with him as the champion, but after Auto Glove, I don't know if I should because I mean, last week Kyle Busch was apparently the best one. I think he had like 90 points on DraftKings, and I was like, holy shoot. And then I was like, but then again, the Stenhouse season JTD equipment, which is a bit worse than not a bit worse, it's kind of a lot worse than Kyle Busch, but it's still decent equipment that can get you a top 20, a top 15.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a couple decent finishes in the last, couple months. I mean, even top 5 finish. I mean, he's had a couple finishes that were pretty. I mean, even top 10. I mean, I guess it depends on where he started at, but obviously this was not the greatest. Losing, he must have been, starting at 3rd.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's not terrible. It's not a terrible call with the multiplier. The 1.5. I mean, if he can make some moves and he can finish the race, that's mostly what it is. Or get a lot of laps,
Yeah.
If he can move, I mean, shit, man. If he can move up from 36 to fucking, excuse my language,
like 6 positions, that'd be nice.
That's huge.
Yeah, he can just get to top 20. He's fine,
And I'm not. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's a great call. I mean, that's 1.5. What is it? It's 1 point, right? Times for the pass. Let's see.
No, it's 0.75.
5. Okay. Yeah. I mean, so
if you move up 20 spots, you get 15 points before the multiplier.
that's not bad. And times 1.5, you're up there.
Mm-hmm.
That's not bad. And if he finishes 20th, 20 extra points there too. I mean, that's not bad at all. We'll put him in. Well, I'm going to put him in my lineup. I probably won't put him in. I think who I'm going to go with for my champions, though, is going to be where'd he go? Truex.
Okay.
He's at 1.25, right? Yeah.
And he's pretty much finished really well here. I think second last year, or we won the race in 2021. Sorry. But yeah, even then, I know his speed isn't there on paper, but I'm expecting it to be there.
I mean, I like your Amarillo call, but where he's starting at, it's a little tough.
Yeah, I mean, if you really want someone starting that high, I mean, Byron's the same thing right there, and he has the fastest car besides Larson. So if you're really betting on someone or like hoping that someone just stays at that position, or even Byron could get 2 positions, I think it's William Byron. That seems it's a bit also risky, but I mean he's got that speed. Only half a point higher. Reddick right there in 12th. He's not gonna stay in 12th. I'm thinking like he finished 7th. Auto Club was a disappointment, but he was the fastest car there. So, I'm still thinking that even if he got like 24th or something, he still got 47 points. That's pretty decent. And even last week 63 points. That's not bad. So, I like him a lot. I mean, he's been pretty much kind of the fastest Chevy, besides Larson and Hendrick Motorsports. But yeah, I mean, I know his Phoenix stats aren't great here, but it's a new car, and so I'm willing to take some more speed, a bit more speed than a bit more experience.
And we like Harvick too, right? Harvick.
Yeah, Harvick. I think the stat is that here's that one interesting stat. If I can pull it up. Or maybe I should just.
I mean, Truex, even if he doesn't finish first, he's had a couple of good finishes here. So that's good enough for me. I mean, if he's starting at 20?
Even if he gets top 10, he's fine.
Yeah, I mean, with the 1.9, I mean, the multiplier, I'm happy with that.
Here it is. So Harvick, I mean, yeah, I'm literally putting Harvick in all my lineups, even though that 4 car hasn't shown much speed. The stat is that he has 17 straight top 10s at the Phoenix International Raceway, or ISF back then when it was called. So literally, he's kind of a sure bet if he just doesn't screw around. And he's also starting 16th, so six place differential positions. There you go. And right now, the only guys that have any higher than that, although at different tracks, are Dale Earnhardt, great guy. Dale Earnhardt, pretty much considered to be the GOAT. 18 at North Wilkesboro, and of course the King, Richard Petty, another 18 at North Wilkesboro. So, I mean, he's looking to either try and tie this like streak of being top 10 every 17 straight races. So, I think that gives him even some more motivation to come out here and be better than what he's run in the past few weeks.
Chase Elliott, we were talking about him earlier. He might not be a terrible play either. I mean, that 19th, starting at 19th.
Yeah. You see, like I said, there's like 12, 13 guys you can throw into like these 5 slots.
Yeah, I like some of these guys that are higher multipliers that are starting like farther back. You know that they're going to do well, and they're going to move up as long as they don't crash or they don't do something crazy.
Okay, so apparently I just found out that the problem that Burton had to fix was something that Larson had last week. It was another ignition switch issue. So that's going to be something interesting to look out for if more cars have more ignition issues along the lines or in the coming weeks. So that's important. They fixed that. And you saw what Larson did last week with that ignition issue thing. So I'm not too worried for Burton if you decide to use them.
Can't start your car. you're screwed.
Yeah.
This week on NASCAR, everyone's driving a Fred Flintstone car, and they have to pedal it with their feet.
Yeah. Also, another interesting to know about is in the past like 4 races, since they reconfigured Phoenix, they have a stretch along what's now the front stretch, used to be the back stretch. It's called the dogleg, and people will literally just dive down there. But since we have this rear diffuser and how the cars are so low to the ground, a lot of people they avoided it yesterday in practice. But I think Truex said that a few guys could go down there, but I'm kind of worried if people decide to do that because that's just shredding your car and just tearing your car too early in the race. And now if it was like the last lap, okay, I could understand, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see if anyone really decides to take that offer and possibly destroy their car.
And David, we were laughing at you earlier with this comment from yesterday. Same thing from yesterday. You don't gotta keep your mouth shut, brother. You can say as much as you want. We're just joking around with you, my homie.
Just don't say it right before I'm about to say it.
We love you, David.
Yeah, definitely.
I
love all our fans.
So yeah, I mean, I think the last guy I'm gonna throw in here is Elliott.
Okay.
I just like. I mean, Busch. Let's see what you said. Where's Kyle Busch starting at?
11. I mean, the multiplier is lower for Chase, but I mean higher for Kyle Busch, but starting further back is Chase than Kyle Busch. So I mean, it's a trade-off.
It evens out eventually.
It's not terrible. I mean, the difference is what, 0.5?
Yeah, I would go Chase. I feel like they can figure something out with that car.
Oh,
I don't know. Kyle Busch, I know a lot of people are like, he's done well in the past, but like just these few past races, I'm not too high on. And I think he's more better at the regular ovals you see, like Las Vegas, the 1.5 miles. Nothing too short track type like this. Although he is good at New Hampshire, so it's just surprising. I guess sometimes people aren't as good as on you see like you have these specific types of tracks, and you think that like people would be good on every type of that track, but like sometimes that doesn't happen. So a bit puzzled on why that happens, but hey, it happens.
So what are your thoughts on Larson and Hamlin? They're they're 1x multipliers. I like to stay away from the 1x's unless it's a guarantee.
Larson, although he's starting the back, he does start a bit further, being scored in that 7th place position than Hamlin, and has I would say a faster car. Although Hamlin does seem to do well in these Phoenix races, and in the past few weeks, I mean, he's like still 30th in the point standings, which is out of character for him. But he's starting 2nd up there. Doesn't give you as much potential, in my opinion, than Larson. Although he could steal the lead away from Blaney and lead a few laps. But the way that Hamlin has raced these past 3 races, I don't know. I just want to stay away from Hamlin until finally he can get this sort of momentum going on. Like, finally a good race, and then continue just finishing the race, because only Auto Club is the only race that he's finished, because last week he didn't even finish the race, and he spun out coming off pit road. He didn't get any damage, but he broke the transaxle, which was something he broke at the LA Coliseum in the Clash, and so I was like, what the heck is going on with this team? Because I mean, Hamlin's been pretty decent. I mean, well, he was like competing for the regular season championship last year, so I'll be out of character for him. I do have him in a few lineups elsewhere, maybe I think in DraftKings and like the regular fantasy NASCAR, but for this, I would stay away from him and just wait and see, and just hope that he gets some kind of momentum and having a few good races in a row before starting to put him in the lineups. But it is a way to differentiate, and it is a way to get different. But he definitely does have the speed here to do it. It's just the question is whether can he finish it? Can he just finish this race, get that top 10? Although if he does fall back, that gets you negative points. But I'm just hoping for him to just get a top 10, get some good stage points, and that's my expectations for him this week.
I think the only thing with SuperDraft, I mean, it's a lot different. You know, people don't really understand how different it is from like DraftKings and FanDuel or the Multiplier. I mean, you can play anybody you want. You know, you can play absolutely anybody you want. There's no salary cap, so sometimes the Multiplier is a huge advantage in playing some of these guys that are at the 1x, you know, 1.05x. Unless they're going to do well, it can really affect you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're looking at some guys that are like lower on the totem pole, obviously, with a salary cap, you know, you have to play that player, right? Or you have to play somebody that's lower to fit into your lineup. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes staying away from some of these 1x guys can actually help your lineup if you know, if you're like questioning, like if that you have a question in the back of your head, like this guy potentially could move back in the race, or this guy potentially could crash. You know, obviously it could happen for anybody, but like I guess that's a piece of advice I'd like to give to everybody. You know, there's some things that you have to look at, like not starting everybody that's at top. You know, like everyone's like, oh well, I can just start all the top guys and I'm going to do well. You know, I'll tell you right now, no, it doesn't always work like that. Especially if you have somebody that's, you know, a top guy and now they've been moved all the way back down to the bottom of the race. You know, they were starting in like second, unless you have somebody who's amazing at making passes in cars, you know, and not having to, you know, have any troubles or anything like that, and they move up and they end up winning the race, or they end up, you know, getting the one pass or the two passes or something like that, you know, and they still do really well enough and control, you know, a lot of the race or something like that. But you know, it doesn't happen a lot. Not a lot of people will, you know, move up from the back after they've been positioned at the front, you know. So, I mean, that's something, you know, there's some guys, you know, like we've had people in the past that had, I mean, was it Kyle Larson who did really well? He was supposed to start in the front, was a couple weeks ago, and he moved all the way from the back all the way up to the front, right? Well, that shit, if you didn't know, you know, you're going to start with negative points, obviously. If you were originally supposed to start at one position, and now you have to start at a later position, you know, it's going to happen. You're going to start with negative points. So that's something that I'd like people to think about. You know, it's awesome starting some of these amazing guys, but sometimes it can affect you with that multiplier, you know, with them being sent to the back of the race. But you know, sometimes it turns out and it works out. So I mean, it's just something to throw out there for people to understand that you are going to start with negative points, but you can have somebody like Kyle Larson who makes a huge comeback and gets all the way up there and, you know, controls the race.
Yeah, and even then, like with these past, like, you know, chaos these past 2 weeks I've had, and with these people spinning out and wrecking out, I'm gonna say that, you know, Larson and Almirola for me are the safest guys, because they haven't really gotten to any accidents. Well, Larson besides the 500, but I'm not throwing the 500 into this because I mean, Larson's never good at super speedways or short tracks, even though this is considered a short track, but he has good history here. So I mean, Larson has good car control on that car, and if he just doesn't get taken out by someone else's mess, or is at the right time, at right position at the right time, then he'll be fine. So those are my two safe guys if you really want somewhere to go. Although, you know, NASCAR, sometimes it's never safe, but for me, those two are the safest. And I see you have a question from David. Burton, he's definitely low on there. He's about the same multiplier as Allmendinger. Does start a bit further ahead of Allmendinger. I like Allmendinger a bit more because he's already run one race, already got some experience in there. Burton, I know in DraftKings a lot of people are going to go to him. Apparently he has some decent long run speed, which I think he does from what I've seen. Although I'm not quite too sure on that. Although I can pull it up. He's actually got some good speed. 10th on the 10 lap average, 9th on the 15 lap average, and 8th on the 20 lap average. So if you're really wanting to go down very low on the or very high on the multipliers, then Burton is another guy. If you want to differentiate from Allmendinger and from Stenhouse, then I guess I'm pretty okay with Burton.
What else, David? What other questions you got, man? I mean, we're good to answer some questions, you know, before this starts, and then we're gonna get into basketball. And you're welcome to hang on with us, Andrew, if you want to talk some basketball with us.
Yeah.
Basketball Jones.
What was I saying?
I'm surprised I don't have Amarillo in here at all.
But you mean Amarillo?
Amarillo by morning. Don't worry,
Yeah,
I'll take 1 week.
no.
I'll take 1 week off of him.
Okay, I'm just gonna stick it out with this. All right, let me make sure I got all
Not
my stuff.
seeing any
Which one
new
didn't I put my
changes.
lineup in?
Good.
Ooh, the elite. That would be bad. Missed the $100.
Yeah. Everybody, make sure you got your lineup set.
Yeah, get your lineup set.
Close them
gonna
out like
start
9 minutes. So yeah.
Everything locks in 10 minutes. 9 minutes, I should say.
T minus 9 minutes.
Yeah.
When does the race actually start?
3:47 apparently.
It's so crazy that they lock it so far in front of it, you know.
Yeah, I think the other fantasy I played, they lock like 5 minutes before, and like 3:42. Like, yeah, that's like 5 minutes before the start time. So I think they should just do it something like
There's
that.
DraftKings does that, right?
Yeah, I think they also do that too. A lot of other sites do it.
FanDuel's at 2:32.
Interesting. Yeah,
That's crazy.
Let me see.
Does that change a lot though? Like, or did they actually set a specific time and the race usually starts at that time, or does sometimes it change?
I mean, they've already set the times up for past year, like last year, but definitely they always do like 10 minutes or something later, because I think they probably just said like, oh, 3:30 is when we're gonna start, but that's when they start like the pre-race ceremonies and all that other stuff that NBA does, but they never really broadcast that stuff, or very rarely, I would say.
And let's just say today with our races, we're hoping for the good Ricky Bobby, not the bad Ricky Bobby.
Yeah.
Right, David?
Yeah, and DraftKings is like 3:45, so they're literally giving you 2 more minutes before it starts.
Yeah, like right before it.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Well, what do you say? Let's get into basketball.
Yeah. Basketball.
Jones.
Do you have a nickel contest today or not?
I don't know. Yesterday.
Probably not on Sunday.
The day before. I don't
only a 4-game slate though, too.
Yeah, I mean, they still with that 2-game slate they had the other day was
I guess.
Games. Come on, baby, load.
Yeah, the only news I've heard of just going through Twitter is Bembry's out for the whole year, but he was the bench guy in my opinion, or probably was.
What, DeAndre Bembry?
Yeah, for the Bucks. Yeah, that's all I heard was he got injured or he's out for the whole year. So
yeah, you don't want to play him anyways, especially on SuperDraft. Maybe like DraftKings and like FanDuel every once in a while you could play him when he was starting and playing big minutes like with the Nets, but you can never play that dude on SuperDraft. Even with 2x multiplier, nope, I'm good.
Yeah,
Fox. Hell yeah.
So yesterday we had our studs. We had De'Aaron Fox, 72.25. Obviously, Domantas Sabonis did not play yesterday. He had the birth of his child, so congratulations to him and his family. But De'Aaron Fox decided to take it upon himself to do all the scoring instead. So he got to just over 90 points after the multiplier. Jordan Clarkson had, I believe it was 42 or 45 real-life points. Ended up with 55.5 points before the multiplier, 1.6 points after the multiplier, 88.8 points in total. And then we had our boy, Scotty Barnes, or I don't know if he's really our boy, but
Barnesy.
He's 60.5 before the multiplier, 1.45 multiplier, 87.73 points after the multiplier. So he really took that step up with Fred VanVleet out. Fortunately, it wasn't Gary Trent. Gary Trent was kind of terrible yesterday. And apparently Armani Brooks is on the Raptors. Learned that yesterday. he started last night. I'm like, Armani Brooks is on the Raptors? Cool.
I feel like I know that.
I don't even think he played a game before that, and all of a sudden he's starting. I'm like, oh, okay. Klay Thompson had his nuclear night with 61 points, 1.45 multiplier. We got 88.45 points after the multiplier, and my buddy is a big Warriors fan, and he's like, yeah, they were just like double teaming Klay Thompson, or they were double teaming like the whole game, and then Klay and Jordan Pools just dropped like 30 plus a piece on them. So yeah, it didn't work out either way for the Warriors there.
Yeah, Curry's just been struggling, but hey, other guys benefit, so that's good.
What David say there? It really looked like that dude took a basketball flop.
I think he's talking about I don't know who we were talking about in NASCAR, but I think he's talking NASCAR.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know. I think you're talking. I know what you're talking about. I don't know if you want to pull it up if you want to look at it, but it was like the late race caution. Yeah, Eric Jones. I mean, just the way. I mean, you could say it looked like a basketball flop. Yeah, and then like the thing was also like it wasn't that was the end of the wreck, and I think people even criticized Eric because or like even Asker was like, oh yeah, if you're gonna crash, you gotta stay on the track, and like when he came up on the track, he about took Bubba out, and Bubba like literally just swerved left, and he went into the wall, the inside wall, but. Compared to like past years where if you do that, the way he smashed it or like the way after the impact after, like it didn't look as bad as I thought it was. And I'm like, oh, okay, interesting. Except the thing that took him out was flat tire.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. So
Basketball flap in NASCAR.
yeah, so we really only had 2 duds yesterday. It was Steph Curry, 29.25, 1.1 multiplier, got 32.18, and then Karl Anthony Towns was 26.5, 1.1 multiplier, got 29.15. The rest of basketball was actually pretty good yesterday. There wasn't really any other guys that tanked real bad, so that's a good sign. At least out of those higher end guys, you know. I mean, if you want to throw Gary Trent up in there, he had a 1.4, but we count 1.3 and below, so.
Mm-hmm.
Even like Giannis, even though like they were getting blown out, I think he probably still had a decent game.
He's all right because they didn't pull their starters till late. And then in terms of the dart throws, we had Trey Jones, 49. You got 2x multiplier, got to 98. Hassan Whiteside ended up starting in place of Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert was ruled out 42 minutes prior to the game. I sent you that message right away, but apparently I think you still missed it.
I know, I was painting the room. I didn't have my phone. I was charging. Damn,
yeah, I was looking on
David
Twitter.
hit me up too.
I saw like, I mean, I have him in fantasy, and then I was like, I was on Twitter and I scrolled down and I was like, oh, Rudy Gobert's out, and I was like, I went to ESPN because like they usually have most of the injury reports and why he was out. Apparently, it was a left foot metatarsal phalangeal joint sprain.
So his foot's been bothering him for a while, but
yeah,
I think the fact that Sabonis wasn't playing last night, they're just like, yeah, we're gonna give you the night off.
I think that wasn't the metatarsal, like that middle bone in the foot, where between your toe and your ankle. I think it's that long bone that's in your foot.
I think he just kind of had a sore foot for a while though, but
yeah, the team's pretty optimistic. He's not gonna miss much, so I'm taking that.
No, but Hassan Whiteside was he got 52.25, 1.75 multiplier. He got to 91.44 after the multiplier, so he was very good if you were happen to luck into him. Then there was Chris Boucher for the Raptors last night, 54.25 points, 1.8 multiplier, 97.65 points, and I guarantee nobody played him last night. I'll just tell you that right now. Because he hadn't been playing big minutes before that. Like I looked at him like earlier in the day, I'm like, well, like if these guys are out, is he going to play more? And then I was like looking at him, like, no, it doesn't really look like it. And he really didn't play that many minutes either. Like it wasn't like he got massive minutes. I think it was like 26 or something. So he's a good fantasy point per minute producer sometimes. Just happened to get some blocks, some steals, and like 13 rebounds. So and like 23 points in that time too. So just a good day. Probably not going to happen again. Jock Landale did not end up starting for Zach Collins. He's the guy that I forgot existed on the Spurs yesterday. Like, who the heck's the backup center that they're going to play? And I'm like, oh yeah, Jack Landale exists. I forgot he was a person for a second.
What was the question I asked you about him?
Like, is he French Canadian or something? I'm like, I don't know.
His name's Jacques. Yeah, Jacques.
Yeah, he ended up playing 35 minutes off the bench, 43.25 points. He got 2x multiplier, so he got to 86.5. Somebody might have played him. I don't know if anybody did. People have definitely played him on like DraftKings because he's $3,100, but on SuperDraft, probably not as likely. So that was kind of yesterday in a nutshell. Oh, so I don't know if any more injuries changed, but this is what we have, at least initially, for the guards in play. So we got John Morant. He's 1.1. It's John Morant. You don't need to say too much there. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's at 1.15. Obviously, he's coming off that terrible shooting performance where he shot 215.
Nothing wrong with coming back to him, though, after they have a bad game.
So maybe that draws his ownership down a little bit, but I mean, it is still just a 4-game slate. That's the important thing to note about SuperDraft tonight. It's only the 4-game slate. Both DraftKings and FanDuel had the 5-game slate. They have the Orlando Magic and the Philadelphia game on it. SuperDraft chose not to, for whatever reason. I don't know why. Then Devin Booker's at 1.1, obviously, or at 1.15, excuse me. So obviously it's Devin Booker. We know what he can do on any given night, especially with Chris Paul out. Tyrese Halliburton 1.25. Malcolm Brogdon's out with a concussion once again tonight. Buddy Hield 1.35. Same situation there. Chris Duarte is questionable tonight. He started last night, so if he doesn't play, it probably helps out these two guys a little bit more. They're probably just going to play bigger and start Oshai Brissett at the 3 and then start Jalen Smith and Isaiah Jackson together, or Goga and one of them together. But Goga's questionable too with his foot injury too, which is he's kind of like Rudy though. Like he's got the foot injury. Like sometimes he plays, sometimes he doesn't. It's just like pick your poison. Last night I'm like, I hope he doesn't play, and then he ended up playing like 20 minutes. I'm like, so we got Kevin Porter at 1.5. They're playing the Pelicans tonight. Both teams kind of suck, especially the way the shape the Pelicans are in right now. So I expect it to be a competitive game, so I wouldn't be surprised if Kevin Porter has a nice game. Campaign at 1.5. He played pretty well once again last time. I was a little bit concerned with Devin Booker and him coming back, but he's been fine since Booker's been back too, so I don't really have too many concerns about that. Bogdanovich, down the last couple of games. You could look at him if you really want to at 1.55. Seems like Gallinari's been a little bit hotter the last couple of games, and he's lost a couple of minutes to Gallinari, though. But John Collins is questionable tonight, so if John Collins misses, then Gallinari probably starts, and Bogdanovich is probably fine again. So however you want to look at that situation. Devontae Graham, 1.65. He's still there. Obviously he had like 40 points last time out. There's no CJ McCollum. There's no Brandon Ingram. Somebody's got to shoot the ball. Somebody's got to score the ball. It's most likely him and Jonas Valanciunas because the other guys aren't that good, especially at scoring the ball, at least. Like Herb Jones is a great defender, but don't ask him to shoot, please. Then we got Malik Monk. He's been up over 30 points like last 4 or 5 games. He's still dealing with a little bit of shoulder injury. I don't know if it's his left or his right shoulder, but he's been playing well, so I assume it's not affecting him. Trey Mann could be back tonight. I don't have him listed here. I don't know what his multiplier is, but you could look at him, I guess. Aaron Wiggins is in the same situation at 2. I don't really want to play Aaron Wiggins or Austin Reeves, but they're just kind of down there to have somebody to talk about. Because they, it's a 4-game slate. There ain't that much out there. The forwards is really short, at least the nest that I initially did, but you can also play Kevin Porter at forward. There might have been, is there one other guy? Nope. It's just Kevin Porter. So we got LeBron James. He's 1. Christian Wood coming back. He's missed the past 2 games, but it was just due to illness. So I'm not like super concerned, not like an injury thing. They are once again playing the Pelicans. So it should be a pretty competitive game. So Christian Wood should at least stay in the game. Because the games when they get blown out, that's when you get Sengun getting more minutes and stuff. And actually, Sengun, last time you count on him, and he just got he was just getting dominated so bad because Sengun's not the biggest guy in the world. He's like 6'9" and maybe 230 pounds. And I don't remember who they were playing against. Who were they playing against? They ended up using Bruno Fernando to get some more muscle in the game because Sengun was just getting bullied. So that's kind of interesting there. But you got Mikal Bridges at 1.65. Like most of these guys aren't the greatest players in the world. Like forward's going to be a very interesting spot today. We got Povachevsky at 1.75. I like Povachevsky. Last time they decided only to play him like 17 minutes. So if he gets the minutes, he's good. Chris Duarte, if he plays, he's 1.75. He was all right last night. Herb Jones. Like these are guys you're taking shots on. Herb Jones, Carmelo Anthony. Isaiah Roby's probably like the best out of that group. And that's just he doesn't get in foul trouble unless who are they playing again tonight? Oklahoma City. They are playing Memphis, so I don't think he's going to get in foul trouble against Steven Adams. Let's put it that way.
And Trey Mann, by the way, is at 1.75.
1.75. That's a little high for him too, even. So then we got Jay Crowder too. So you can look at Jay Crowder. Cam Johnson's still out. The centers, we got Jonas Valanciunas. For some reason, I put a 7 instead of a 2. Please ignore that. Jonas Valanciunas is 1.25. Obviously, last game there was a blowout. He only played 25 minutes and was not good. However, there is a chance that he has a pretty good game tonight. But he's kind of hit or miss, honestly. But he should be able to get some rebounds against Christian Wood, against Sengun, guys like that. DeAndre Ayton, 1.3. He's either going to have a really big game or he's going to have like a kind of okay game. But they're playing the Lakers tonight. It's pretty well known that the Lakers have Dwight Howard and like nobody else to play center. So I'm very interested if Dwight Howard starts tonight or not. It would make sense to start him against DeAndre Ayton. I don't trust anything that comes out of Frank Vogel's brain right now. So we'll have to see. Otherwise, you're playing LeBron or Stanley Johnson at center and Carmelo off the bench at center. So DeAndre Ayton should be able to have his way with guys like Carmelo Anthony and Stanley Johnson at center. Let's just put it that way. He's got a little bit of an advantage there. Then we got Steven Adams, who got 1.6. It is a revenge game because we got traded away from the Thunder a couple of years ago. But
Don't do this.
They also gave him a lot of money too, so before they traded him away. So, but
my revenge game.
Money loves his revenge games, and he loves Steven Adams. So I know who you're playing tonight. Then we got Sengun at 1.75. Just like if Christian Wood phantomly like doesn't play tonight, pretty much, which could happen. It's happened before. In terms of the injuries, let's see what we got here too. Excuse me. So we don't care about the Philadelphia game. I better refresh this page real quick. See, all the other games got started almost. Well, I guess Dallas and Boston just did start too. And then we got the one island game that's not on the SuperDraft slate. So we get down to the Pacers. They're without Malcolm Brogdon, obviously, with his concussion. And then TJ McConnell, Miles Turner, TJ Warren, they all haven't played in a long time. TJ Warren, a very, very long time. But Lance Stevenson is questionable to play tonight. He didn't play last night. I don't expect him to play tonight. Maybe if Chris Duarte gets ruled out, maybe he does end up playing, but that's kind of the situation maybe. Chris Duarte is also questionable with his toe injury that he's been dealing with for a while now. But he's been playing on it. So he missed a couple games, then he came back, played like 1 or 2 games, then missed a game, then came back. So I expect him to play, but we'll just have to see, honestly. Goga Batazzi, he's dealing with his foot issue. He's questionable. On the opposite side of the game, John Collins, he's questionable. I assume it's still his foot that is bothering him. Fingernail. This dude gets
fingernail. He's got a hangnail.
No finger. A right ring finger. John Collins is like one of my least favorite people to play in DFS because he always gets hurt. Like literally. Last year when I played him, there's a couple times last year when I played him, it's like the one game was when he got concussion, the other game was when I know you can't really hold like stuff like that, but he hasn't been good lately anyway. So the Rockets usually grow by John Wall out, so they're essentially all the way healthy unless something magically changes before the start of that game. And then the Pelicans, just the two guys that we really know are Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum both being out. Larry Nance and obviously Zion are not playing for a long time. Zion's probably never playing for the Pelicans again, so we probably shouldn't even talk about it again.
He's on a cheeseburger, man. He's at the Happy Meal every day.
Yeah, supposedly he's up to 330 pounds, and he needs a second foot surgery, and he's partying it up in New York. So
there's a reason that he needs a second foot injury, though. It's because he's gaining so much.
He put on 60 pounds.
Yeah,
because he looks like one big baby Davis.
There's a lineman.
Yes,
someone needs to sign him at the NFL.
I guess when we get into it too, we'll have to look up the multiplier on Najee Marshall too, because he started the last game and he actually played pretty well in the starting lineup. And like they don't got anybody that's like Herb Jones, Jackson Hayes aren't going to score the ball. I actually bet the under on Jackson Hayes on Prize Picks because it was 13.5 points. I'm like, that ain't ever going to happen unless he gets like 9 putbacks. Then for the Grizzlies, Dylan Brooks is questionable tonight. He has not played in a long time. So there is a situation where maybe he ends up playing. I don't expect it to happen yet, but even if he does end up playing, he's probably going to be on a meds limit. But screw Dylan Brooks. I hate that guy. And for the Oklahoma State Thunder, Derek Favors, Josh Giddey, Jerome Robinson, Earl, and Kenrich Williams out once again. Trey Mann is questionable. If he doesn't play, I guess they start Lindy Waters again, which sounds disgusting. We're not going to go over that again because that dude shouldn't even be in the NBA. Like he should be lucky to be in the G League. But apparently he started the game. Lindley Waters.
Yeah, I know, but I'm calling him Dirty Water.
Yeah, he's like half Asian too, so but he's like a weird mix. He's like a white and like half Asian mix or something. Like he's just he's a weird looking guy.
So is Jeremy Lin though. Jeremy Lin's a beast.
Yeah, I'd rather have him over.
I'd rather have Jeremy Lin. Like I think they'd rather have Jeremy Lin at this point too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like this guy just wasn't good at Oklahoma State. It's like somehow he found his way into the G League, and somehow he found his way on the 2A contract, and somehow he found his way into the starting lineup because half the team died. It's like
fake it until you make it or something.
Yep, apparently they should get me too while they're at it.
Yep. Hey, let's get a petition to get Coach Craig signed on the basketball team.
Just sign some like old guy. I mean, they're still pretty good in there.
Bring Joe Johnson back, like the
I'll
fix it earlier this year or whoever. I don't care. Like there's gotta be, but like the Thunder don't care. Like that's the problem.
Yeah,
we're just gonna sign whoever. He'll show up. Then for the Lakers, we got Anthony Davis, Kendrick Nunn out, and then LeBron James and Taylor Horton Tucker are both questionable. LeBron's probably going to end up playing. Taylor Horton Tucker ended up playing the last game, so he probably plays once again tonight, and then Malik Monk is probable. The Suns are without Cam Johnson, Frank Kaminsky, Chris Paul, Dario Saric, and apparently Lundberg, whoever the heck he is, he must have recently signed with the team. He's questionable to play. Gabriel Lundberg, a 27-year-old guard that's probably never played in the NBA before. Speaking of guys that, he was a DNP the last game.
Ooh.
Which is nothing. Is there any, there's no information about this dude? Is this a real guy? Let's see.
Real guy.
They made him up so they could fill their lineup. They needed somebody.
Lundberg is a 27-year-old combo guard from Denmark.
Oh, okay.
So he just came over from playing from the Euro League in Moscow. I probably wouldn't want to be in Moscow right now either. So ultimately, the club earlier this month, in wake of the ongoing political conflict, so he averaged 9 points a game over there on 21 minutes. So he's probably not somebody you want to play.
Oh, and now he's coming to play against NBA players. So
yeah,
he's coming to sit on the end of an NBA bench, is what he's doing.
Yeah, you got to keep it warm.
Yeah, so we can start building some stuff though. We'll take a look at Marshall, see what his multiplier is though too.
Any more injuries?
Oh, that's it. There's 4 games. That's
only 4. I'm just kidding. Anyways, anybody that's here, we are going to be doing an NCAA bracket, and we're going to be doing it on Sleeper. If anybody hasn't used Sleeper before, it's basically what we use for doing any kind of fantasy football, fantasy basketball, any of that stuff. It's just a platform. We're going to be doing it on there, so we're going to be giving away a jersey. So it's going to be an autographed jersey. We're going to figure out somebody. I know Craig will come up with somebody that we'll try to find. And then we're also, depending on how many people we get, I'm also going to be giving away cash. So there'll be cash to the winner, and if we get enough people, I'll even do something to the second place as well. We want to keep people engaged in what we're doing here, and we're just trying to give back and do something, be involved as a community.
Is it bad that I can't find this Lindsay Water guys on Google? I try to find a picture of him. Okay, so Lynn. I thought there was a L in there. It's just Lindy Waters.
The name wrong. Gotcha.
Lindy Waters. Is it Linde or L?
And the worst part is Lindy Waters the third, which means you named 2 other people Lindy for a dude.
Oh no.
Lint? Is it like lint? Like lint? Like lint?
Now he's got that LaMelo hair going now.
Oh, okay.
Apparently. I don't know if you can see this.
Interesting.
Oh.
He's got the LaMelo hair going, but let's see. This is what he looked like at Oklahoma State. So he's I don't know. He just looks weird. he wasn't that good there either. It's just weird. But
we're not going to be playing him.
Nope.
Dirty water.
Why does he got LaMelo hair now?
All right.
Bam. All right. So they don't have any nickel plays. They dollar is what they have. They should have they should have quarter plays and stuff like that too.
I would play very light tonight. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, we're only gonna probably play 3 contests. We'll do 3 lineups. I mean, we've talked about enough players that you can play. So I mean, obviously,
I don't think there's that many forwards you can play.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen David pivot off of some of the. Basically, he'll watch, he'll listen, and he'll pay attention to what we say. He'll watch our lineups, and then he'll pivot from some of the guys we played and play some of the guys we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And he's hit. I've seen him hit a lot on just listening and paying attention to some of the players that we talk about. Obviously, we come up with a lot of players, and then we'll build lineups based off of that, and then. If it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Whatever, It's basically based off of the whole concept. Take the whole concept and then make your lineup. That's basically what it is.
It's whatever sticks out to you.
Yeah, whatever sticks out to you exactly. If you follow our lineups exactly, you might not hit. But I mean, the whole.
Plus, you'll tie us.
Yeah, exactly.
You never get first.
David has followed me a few times into battle with the same lineup in golf, and we've placed top 10 a couple of times, which is pretty dope.
Yeah.
So this weekend in golf has been so weird with the weather. Ugh,
Well,
nasty.
you got
I was tweeting Craig, and I was like, "Oh wait, it's raining." I was like, "Oh,
dude." It started raining halfway through the first round.
that's
Like half the people finished, half the people didn't, and it's just like.
And if you were the part of the people that didn't, you got screwed.
It's crazy.
Oh,
It was not the same course after that.
Nope.
Yeah, I would think. I mean, like even like in NASCAR, if it rains, like fresh track, your setup probably would either go to trash or, yeah, you'll somehow benefit, which is weird. Well, thankfully, Phoenix has no rain today. But yeah, go ahead.
Let's build. Let's build.
Comment.
As long as it's not Portis.
Well, David, the good news for you is he's not playing tonight.
Yeah.
And the good news is hopefully you didn't play him last night because he only played 22 minutes and he was not good.
And we said no Portis.
Did he start though?
We said
What?
do not start Portis.
Did he start or did he?
Yeah, he starts. He always starts, but
Yeah.
they were going against Golden State, so they were just going to get moved Giannis to the 5 like half the game anyways.
Nah.
Plus they got Ibaka. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Shit is ugly today. It's ugly today.
I mean, guard's fine, but
Right.
Ford's just like, ugh. Ford's like play LeBron, play like, and then just pick like your poison after that.
Mm.
Like LeBron's probably going to be the highest owned player on the entire site because,
As always, I would say.
like just today, it's just like there's nobody. Like,
Yeah.
like you can play. So you can play Christian Wood, you can play John. Like, what are you going to do? Play John Collins, Jaren Jackson? That's inconsistent as crap. Like you can play Darius Baisley, but he's kind of been all over the place too. Mikal Bridges, Jayshawn Tate's just coming fresh off injury. Like I consider Gallinari if John Collins doesn't play at 1.7, but like you're looking at all these guys that are 1.7 and below essentially today. So you're looking at Povashevsky, you're looking at you could look at one of the Pacers guys, whether it's Isaiah Jackson or Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith's been the one that's doing it a little bit better. He's the one that I played in that crazy lineup last night. I think you played him, or I think we both played him in the crazy lineup. I have my own crazy lineup though too.
Oh yeah. Would you play him at forward or guard?
What? Smith? You got to play him at forward.
Oh well.
He's another goofy looking guy.
Oh yeah, yeah. That picture.
Like the old school glasses.
No.
I am Horace Grant.
Yeah, like Horace Grant. You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, I like LeBron. I like playing LeBron tonight.
Okay, so Najee Marshall is 1.85. Yeah, like LeBron's like the guy, like the first guy you have to play it forward, and then like you're just picking two guys after that. Like, who the heck do you want to play after that? Pretty much. So Najee Marshall is 1.85, so I wouldn't consider it. I'm not like super high on him. Then, I mean, like I think he got 29 last game.
I mean, we could play Porter here.
Yeah, I like playing Porter too. So right now I got Porter and LeBron, and then just like pick your poison at the last one. So
I might throw Smith in there, dude.
Jalen Smith, Darius Baisley, if Povashevsky gets the minutes, and Mikal Bridges remembers how to shoot.
Baisley's all right. I mean, I like Poku. I like playing Poku too.
Yeah, but he only played 17 minutes last game. That's my concern.
Yeah.
And there we go. Green flag for the cup race now. Oh my! Oh wow! Why?
But
They literally went down the dog stretch, and I didn't think they would actually do it. Oh, wow. I'm sorry.
yeah. Speaking of the goofy looking guys, Povashevsky.
He's really tall and skinny. Like, really tall and skinny.
He's like 7'2", like 100 or like 210 pounds.
I think Kyle Busch just got 5 spots just doing that, actually, just going all the way down. Wow, okay.
Yeah,
So I guess that answers your question. Kyle Busch is kind of the better Busch brother.
Yep. What about Jaren? David? Jaren Jackson is super inconsistent. You can play him if you want to, but like it's a 4-game slate. You're gonna have to take chances on somebody. If you want to take chances on the upside, Jaren Jackson, you can do it. Let's see who are
he hasn't asked about Ayton yet today.
I love Ayton. I love the upside of Ayton today. Let's just put it that way. Because there's just like a chance he plays like 20 minutes against Carmelo, like at center.
That's true. You're right. I mean, let's build this lineup, then we'll throw Ayton in here, and then
there's just there's 3 centers you're playing today. It's Ayton and Adams and Jonas.
That's probably what we're gonna do. We're just gonna do 3 lines, 3 different centers.
Why can't we have the Philadelphia Orlando game? At least we could play Embiid then.
I mean, I don't mind playing Adams. I like Adams.
I know you do. I put Adams on the list in revenge game.
Everybody
It's like, oh,
knows.
and he just goes up. 90% of my lineups are Adams now.
No, 33%. We're only doing 3.
Probably more than that, but oh well. If you were playing like 10, if you were playing 10, it'd be like 8 of them.
Probably like 7.
Close enough.
You're right. Yeah. I mean, we throw a shot. I mean,
I don't know. Right now, the one I'm built one like on my own too. So I got Devin Booker. I'm playing Devontae Graham because that's my boy, and Halliburton. But I mean, like you got Booker, you got Shai, you got John Morant, you got Halliburton. Those are like the 4 top guys at the top. You can mix in Buddy, like you can mix in Buddy Hield. Like he's starting now. Like he's the only guy now. Really. Like it's him and Jonas.
Graham had a really good night.
Yeah. You want to know why he's my guy?
Where is he from? Kansas.
Yep. I love him in Kansas too. I'm a little biased, but like 1.65 multiplier for a guy that's going to play the whole game pretty much.
No, I agree.
Halliburton with no Brogdon looks good.
Yep.
Like that's the worst game he's probably going to have with no Brogdon. And they kind of had a blowout towards the end there too.
I like Shai. He just had a bad game. I mean,
he just shot terrible in that game.
Yeah, it's one game. I mean, nothing wrong with going back. Like, I always say that. This is, I mean, a couple high multipliers, but nothing too crazy. Let's rock this up. I mean, Ja. I mean, I always like starting Ja. He's a beast.
Where is Ja?
Where is Ja? I still gotta send you that video. Help me, Ja Rule. It's just so funny. Dave Chappelle's the man, dude. If anybody likes stand-up comedy, his old shit is amazing.
I'm playing some coin contest.
Yeah, I might have to get in a coin contest because I think they have some for our SuperDraft Pro stuff.
Yep. This one's 200 or 300 coins. I can't remember which. I just started putting lineups in. Let's see.
All right, let's get 3 lineups in. I mean, I still got the $20 ticket, but I think I'm holding it for something special.
Not today. Definitely not today.
Anything good. I mean, I'm not going to play $20 ticket in like a, these ones.
4-game NBA slate that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do it.
I'm waiting for the $20 golf contest. I'll play it in that.
The Masters.
Ooh, yeah, that's coming up.
Yeah, like a couple weeks. So let's see, 3 weeks, I think.
Yeah, yep. I think you're right.
It's like that first weekend in April. Or the second, depending on which date the first weekend in April falls on. Something like that.
Yeah, it's crazy. Dude, tonight, I do not like this slate. You're right.
You play the guards are fine. The guard, like if you could just play like if you could just play the guards at forward, like it'd be all right.
Oh boy.
Apparently, you can only put one entry into the coin contest.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, now I got to build that lineup I just built again.
Apparently go ahead.
Challenging you. Just kidding.
Biggest mover so far is Larson, so that's good for the guys that are starting Larson.
Yeah, Andrew, keep giving us updates. I'm all for it, man. If you just want to, you can interrupt us all you want. Man.
Okay.
It's all good. We're basically now we're just going to be setting lineups and just talking through the lineups. That's usually what we do at the end of the show.
Chase has moved up 3 positions. That's good for us. Rostering him. Stan Ellis has only moved up 5, but hey, that's at least better than what he was starting with.
Yep.
Yeah, not too much. But yeah, Kyle Busch is the one that moved up a ton. Just literally went from that 11th place all the way down now to 6th.
Cool. I think I took him out of my lineup.
Oh no, it's okay. I wasn't. I mean, for me, that scheme that he's running, I feel like it's a bit cursed because he kind of ran the same sponsor last year and he spun. So I don't know.
I'm gonna say I think I kept him on FanDuel though,
Okay.
because he's like a decent price over there. Like he's cheaper than like when you're looking at the guys that were ahead of him. It's like, well, why is he down here?
Yeah. Especially like Truex. I know, like, even though he hasn't done too much, I mean, I don't know. I
David,
hope on him.
here we go. Here we go. What about Trey? He's been terrible lately.
Trey.
Trey ice cold lately. So I mean, you can play, like, if you're playing a bunch of lineups, you can put Trey in like one lineup. Hope he hits.
Tray of ice cubes.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he's been lately.
Decent, but like with the way, like, you know, Trey, like your expectation of Trey, I think decent is the lowest that you can get, and you'd want like superstar somewhere around there.
Yeah, like just the fact that he's still 1.05 and Steph went up to 1.1 yesterday is ridiculous. And Steph actually had a couple good games before he went up to 1.1.
Yeah, Larson's still moving up. Chases too, and Harvick.
So the best thing about Trey lately is he's been getting assists, but he ain't shooting the ball worth of crap.
So this one I'm starting Halliburton, Booker, Shy at guard. Then I went Wood, James, Porter, and then my man Steven.
Yep. Your boy. I'll play him in one lineup just for you.
Yes.
My 550 coin contest.
I like
we could do an NHL coin contest too. I'd rather not. Holy crap, Mackinnon's all the way up to 1 multiplier.
And then Harvick. Yeah, Harvick and Chase are coming up real fast, so that's good for us. Truex not so much. Oh, there he goes. Harvick in top 10 already.
Ooh.
But Truex still on 19th. They'll probably get that car fixed up somehow. And it doesn't matter for us since, you know, stage points don't matter.
He's better than Westbrook. Not with the multiplier right now.
Somehow young.
Yeah. I mean, lately, actually, Russell Westbrook's been the better player lately. Just because of the multiplier. Like Russell Westbrook's multiplier is 1.3 and Trey's is 1.05. So technically on paper, Russell's been slightly better. That's kind of like comparing a turd sandwich to like a piece of crap on the ground.
Interesting.
South Park episode. Douchebag or a turd sandwich. You gotta decide between one. Trey Young. Oof.
Oh, you've got to.
What high multiplier guy can we get in here as a guard? Graham.
Nobody. The higher multiplier guards. So who are you guards so far?
I don't know. I'm just building around one that I already had.
No, but who are the guards?
Booker and Gilgis, but I mean I can change out.
I mean, I feel that so if you don't play Booker, you could play Campaign. Like technically, they both can go off together, but Lakers kind of suck.
Yeah, since the Suns, they don't really have any other guards.
Yeah, Landry Shaman exists, but he's not good. I mean, Aaron Holiday. I like Aaron Holiday, but he just plays like 16, 18 minutes a game, anyways.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I forgot he got traded from the Pacers there.
Yeah,
I think he was doing decent on the Pacers, and then just came to Phoenix.
Oh no, he was on the Wizards. The Pacers traded him to the Wizards, and then the Wizards traded him. The Suns said,
yeah, so many trades.
He actually had like the Wizards thing just like opened up. Like, yeah, I'm the starting point guard. Oh, you're traded now. Sorry, at least you're on a good team now.
I think the only change I made to this lineup was Payne. I took out Booker and I threw in Morant.
Yeah, that's fine. There's a lot of like forwards today is just pick the guy that you want with the multiplier you want, pretty much, and hope they pay off. That's all forward is today. And it ain't pretty.
500 coin entry.
I thought it was 550. Am I blind?
Maybe I'm blind. You know me.
I gotta look now. I'm curious. I should probably take both those lineups and put in the coin ones and put them in $1 contest.
You're right. 550.
And then the other one was like 300, I think, right?
Yeah, something like that.
I'm not completely blind.
So far, so good. Good avoids on Bell and Almirola. They've already fallen outside the top 10. Although Almirola fell a lot faster than Bell, so maybe Bell still has something. And Cindric, oh geez, good thing no one rostered him. He's already down to 17th.
Ooh.
Larson's back in the top 20, so hey, that car has somehow got some speed. Yeah, I wasn't high on Cindric. Oh yeah, comp caution.
Worst part about Cindric is he starts too high because he tests too fast.
Who?
Cindric. It's like he starts too high because he tests too fast, you know?
Yeah.
Like maybe if you started further back, we'd be more interested in you.
Yeah. Or if you're on a super speedway, then I'd consider you a bit more. But yeah, Cindric, I mean, after the first 2 weeks, I was just like, no, those are probably lucky weeks, and he's probably going to be going good on the super speedways and the road courses, and that's all I'm using of that rookie.
Yep.
All right, now I think also like another thing to bring up about like NASCAR fantasy. Apparently, this fantasy could also come down to these pit crews because like with this new like single luck nut, some crews have just struggled and have just put their good cars like put that like team when it's like the driver and the car was already running good just behind, and having to come back up. It's wow. It's been interesting.
Looking at NHL right now, but damn, I didn't realize how many games were in there. It's 8 games. Oof.
Yeah. 8 games. Looks like they were adjusting some of the multipliers too.
Mm-hmm.
They must have done like a big sweep on it or something. You see this? When it breaks since I can remember. Yeah, well, like I said, I always say, I think it's what I was telling you about earlier, Andrew, too. Is like, I'm pretty sure the Thunder would have won the championship if they would have just traded Westbrook away instead of Harden. Because like, at the time, the perceived value of Westbrook, you could have got so much for him too. Because like they got a good amount for like Harden, but it wasn't like a lot. But like Westbrook, and then like, because the problem was Westbrook always had to take the shot at the end of the game, and he wasn't a good shooter. So it's like, let Durant shoot the ball.
Yeah.
So guys leading the league in scoring, you're not even going to let them shoot the ball.
Yeah, that's like the same thing with like some running backs. Let them run and let other people pass, and more opportunities for them.
Yeah.
All right, pit stops. Anyone gonna be clean? Hopefully.
I don't know what you're doing over there now.
I'm just looking through hockey. This is a revenge game for Granlund.
Oh boy, Mikael.
All right, looks like everyone got clean stops, and the 12 car is the first one out, followed by the 22, 14, 11, 8, 20. Oh no. Kyle Busch had a slow stop. That's interesting.
Oh boy.
Oh, bad news. McDowell, Stenhouse, Blaney, and Hamlin all speeding on. Oh my goodness. Yeah, these speeding penalties are something. So that makes the leader probably Briscoe. Interesting.
Oh, Briscoe.
And Harvick had a slow stop. Jeez. Yeah, Kyle Busch fed down to 26th. Oof. For right now, they might update it, but wow. And Stenhouse. Oh well, Stenhouse going in the back. There goes that play. Still early, but
get back up there.
Yeah. Oh, Kyle Busch stalled his car, so that's interesting.
Oh.
You can do that with this new car. Very interesting that he did that.
Mm-hmm. Antonio, not only did he have to get his triple doubles, he'd be fighting with his own teammates for rebounds at one point. Yeah. Like, And I was listening. I can't even remember who I was listening to on, but they were talking about LeBron, and like LeBron has all worked with like all these other really difficult people like Dwight Howard and Kyrie Irving and stuff. And he's like, he can't even, like Russell Westbrook can't even make it work with LeBron. Like that's when you know it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As much as I don't like LeBron, he's a little crybaby. At least he gets along with his teammates.
Yeah. It's like who can you pair him up with? Like who's got the
Nobody.
good chemistry?
Like nobody. And the thing is, like they tried to trade him at the trade deadline. Nobody wanted it. Like nobody wants Russell Westbrook for a $38 million a year contract.
Yeah. Oh shoot, we're a bit down there. Oh well.
But
Dude, this is what Craig says to me all the time. You cannot watch fantasy like that.
especially especially NASCAR just moves so much. Like like if you get the guys that pit, like you pitted, they just lost a whole bunch of spots real quick, and then
that's
they come
true.
back.
I think it's like I remember another like NASCAR fantasy guy was like the last lap is the only lap that gets scored.
Yep.
So I'm like, yeah, that's true. I just like focus on it too much. I don't know why.
I know.
Does you want to win
know
money?
so many people that they focus like for fantasy football too. Like they'll watch the whole like thing like every 5 minutes. They'll click on it. I'm like, after like the first set of games is done, I might look at it.
Yeah, that's like me. I don't know. I've kind of given
like,
up other stuff. And
I don't like stressing over this or like, especially in DFS, it's worse because it's like, oh, I could have had this much money, but then like it fell apart. Like, yeah.
Oh, okay. Stenhouse isn't too bad. You still got two guys that are lap down, so 34th at best. So that's some place differential there for you guys.
He's got place differential. Like I said, all that matters is if you can try to move into the 20s.
Oh, I forgot Logano was the leader. Okay. Chase up to 6. That's good for us. And they're already going down low. Okay, good. Oh, Harvick and Truex Jr. don't take each other out. Damn. That would be terrible. Alrighty, Bell.
Dang, AJ Dillon's out here.
No, that's Austin.
Yeah, Dillon. Austin Dillon. Yeah, I wasn't too high on him. He's been the shadow of Tyler Reddick. And he's gonna get passed by Larson like a few laps. Yeah, or a corner. Yeah. Oh no. Oh, Chastain wants the race. Okay. Oh, Briscoe's the leader now. That's interesting.
Oh boy.
Reddick up to third. So yeah, I'm not too surprised about that. Almirola back in the top 10 along with Bell. Oh man. Truex out to 14. Harvey down up to 17, although he was in the top 10.
Actually, Stenhouse was only like 11%. In the
I'm not surprised. Although DraftKings, he was the highest on like 47%. If I saw, I was like, what the freak?
Yeah, but he was only 7K on DraftKings too.
Yeah, pretty cheap.
Like he was cheaper than Allmendinger. At 200.
And all the guys I mentioned today, they were like all the percentage owned on DraftKings was at least 17% or above, because the lowest I mentioned was Kyle Busch at 16%.
Let me see.
And then, what's his name? Burton was at 17%. Yeah. Kurt Busch is not very owned, 9%.
Let's see.
Not too surprised. Hamlin and Blaney are working their way up, 24th and 28th. That's good to see. Truex up to 12th. That's good. Harvick is still slow to come up here. That's okay.
Yes, Stenhouse on DraftKings in the $1 single entry, 45%.
Oof.
Yeah.
Truex was 43.
Yeah, I think
like 27 too.
Yeah, they're really going more for the long run, I would think. And I would think even after this comp caution, they've adjusted on it. And he's going to be a top car up there.
Yeah, I mean, Truex was only 14.1% owned at the champion position here.
Man, that's still a good amount for the champion, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, compared to Chase Elliott was at 8.7.
8.7. He was my champion too.
But I mean, Harvick is, he's one of the higher. He's 38% owned on.
That makes sense because his flex spot was only like 10.8 or whatever, like 11.
No, that's at the flex.
Well,
338.2.
Who's I just talking about? No, that was Stenhouse. That was 10.8.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind.
Oh. Yeah, Kyle Busch is falling. I don't know if he had an issue. Harvick just passed him, which is he's going down. What happened? I think he might have squeezed Austin. Yeah, that. Oh yeah, he got him on the. We got Luke. Oh, that's damage.
Oh,
Well, not too much. I mean, I guess okay. So I guess
Who hit who?
18 hit the 3 and like kind of squeezed them, and then they got loose, and the 18 hit the 3 cars left side hit the right of Kyle Busch. So yeah, I wasn't too high on Kyle Busch for this race because like I said, he's gonna be better on these half milers and regular ovals and some of these short tracks. Although this isn't counted as a short track, but it definitely looks like one.
what was it? Who's the 3? Let me think.
Austin Dillon, but there's apparently no damage, so maybe that helped him. Who knows? Austin Dillon, his last radio transmission was, all you did was free me up on exit, tight as shit in the front. Yeah, they always curse a lot. You're gonna hear that in the radio.
David,
I would be too if something was crashing into me.
Shake and bake.
Yep. There comes Harvick up to 12th. Come on, get past Dillon. There we go.
We're gonna go have a big old NASCAR watch party one of these days, apparently.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
That's what I usually do a week. Is I just like get on Discord and just have all these watch parties and whatnot.
Yeah, we'll get something going. We're gonna get this community built over the spring. Start building this community. Once the spring. I mean, that's the whole goal. Is once we get to football season, we're built. So some of this stuff we can do. We can get a Discord going. We can get some other things going to where we can do some watch parties, and I'll just throw some things up. So like if you want to throw a watch party, I'm all for it. So
that's great.
We'll do some things like that. Oh yeah, shake and bake. So just so you guys remember, we are going to be doing the NCAA bracket, and everyone has to have their stuff in by Thursday morning. It's $10 buy-in, and as of right now, I think we have 6 people in. We'd like to get more. It'd be nice if we got up to at least 20, because then we can give more cash away. That's the whole point, is to give some more stuff away. But we are doing a jersey giveaway, autographed jersey giveaway. So anybody wants to get into that, you can hit me up. You can hit Andrew up. You can hit Craig up on Twitter. I will retweet Andrew's Twitter handle so everybody can have his handle as well. And everyone should know where Craig's at. Talk about it every day. But we're going to get out of here. We'll be back obviously tomorrow for basketball like we always are. 6:05 Eastern time. So yeah, everyone, good luck today. Good luck in basketball. We will be David updated me yesterday on some of the people that were out, and clearly he was behind you because you told me before even David did, and I just saw David's and I was like, shit, 6 minutes late.
Yeah, I'm a pretty big Twitter guy. That's where I get, like most of my sports news, not not like actual news.
No, I mean it is. I mean that's good news. I mean that's our field, right?
Yeah, I mean you can get some actual news on Twitter. Just make sure you're kind of checking what you're reading too.
Yeah.
Clickbait.
Yeah.
So let's get out of here. I'm gonna make sure that everybody has everyone's Twitter links because these are 2 really good people that you guys need to be following and of course be following me as well. But look, Hugh's always into it. Look at him. He's into this shit.
Yeah, we just had a caution, and the funniest thing happened. Someone lost a tire.
Who lost the tire?
Corey LaJoy, his right rear just popped off.
Well, crap.
Well, there goes that P play on DraftKings.
Yep.
He's
I think he'll be fine. He just needs to get. Oh no, he's going to garage. Never mind. Bye.
He's gone.
No, he hit the wall. Okay. There you go.
My buddy just sent me a message too. He's like, I like your lineups besides the one that's got LaJoy in it. I don't like LaJoy here. And then his tire just comes off right after that. I'm like, okay.
He's starting 30th. He has a top 25 car. Yeah.
If he gets to like 26, I'll be happy. That's
he just got in the wall. Unfortunate. Oh, and the Cody Ware just hit the tire. Fun stuff. Let's get out of here.
Hey, you shoot me your Twitter real quick on the private chat, and I'm gonna throw it out here for everyone.
Yeah, of
And
course.
then Craig, tell them where to find you at, man.
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter at Coach Craig Sport. You can find me on YouTube at Coach Craig Sports. If you haven't already, check out the NBA DFS video today over there for DraftKings and FanDuel. Have updates for injury lineup or for injuries, starting lineups, updates to the core, all that good stuff down in the comments throughout the day. So definitely make sure you're checking up on that. You can also check me out on patreon.com/Coach Craig Sports and on the Stacks app at Coach Craig Sports. If you get over there on the Stacks app, join, make an account, be a little bit active. You can enter the NCAA tournament over there as well, and you could potentially win a Glenn Rice signed jersey.
You tell them where to find you at too, brother. If there's any other spots besides Twitter you can find you at?
Discord and Instagram, and even on Facebook. I think you just search up my name. Let me just pull it up. Yeah, it's pretty much just my name. On Discord, I mean, I can shoot you my Discords also. Pretty active on there. I mean, I'm pretty big with news, anything. I'll probably start retweeting out more and whatnot, and yeah, I'll be keeping updates on everything. So yeah, and also if you just want to have a conversation, yeah, I'm all for it. That's what my life is right now. Besides, schoolwork and college, all about the sports and the grind.
And Andrew's going to be on this channel on Sundays for sure, but obviously he's always welcome to come on anytime. So you know that, and you can always find me everywhere. JC Money Design. Just pretty much look everywhere. I'll be there. I'll try to be there. So more content coming out as we've been talking about it. We're going to have this risers QB or rookie risers and fallers is going to be coming out soon, and it's going to be every position. So we'll be doing a show for the offensive side and the defensive side. So it'll be 2 players risers, 2 players fallers for each position. So be on the lookout for that. It'll be coming very soon. Appreciate everyone being here like always. You guys got anything to say before we get out of here?
Good luck.
Yeah, have a good fantasy day for all the basketball and NASCAR guys out there, and we'll be back here next Sunday for the Foldsvar Quick 500 at Atlanta, a new reconfigured track, and oh boy, that would be fun. That's all I have to say.
Wait.
Can't wait.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
And we'll be back tomorrow. Remember that for basketball. So same bat time, same bat channel. Appreciate y'all. Peace.
We're pushing forward, coast to coast, state to state, city to city, Floyd Dilly like the late great Biggie. Baby.
Life ain't sweet, if you know what I mean. Try to go legit and follow my dreams. Life ain't sweet, if you know what I mean. Try to go legit and follow my dreams. Life ain't sweet, if you know what I mean. Try to go legit and follow my dreams. Life ain't sweet, if you know what I mean. Try to go legit and follow my dreams.